Hi there, Randy. My name is Debunking. I'm a progressive Christian that grew up in conservative Christian schools, and I feel like you need to know a little thing called the King James Version in proper context. So one of the main common arguments I see against homosexuality is Leviticus 18:22, where it says, "Man sleeping with man is an abomination." But guess what? Logic is important. Do we follow Levitical laws anymore? Absolutely not. In Exodus, it says that everyone who works on the Sabbath shall be put to death. In Leviticus, it also says that if you eat pork, that you should be put to death. Let's see now, somewhere later on, it says that if you wear a suit worn with the two different materials, then you are to be burned at the stake by your mother. So Leviticus is thrown out the window. Another argument I see a lot is Romans 1:26, 1:27. What about Romans 2:1? Therefore thou art inexcusable a man, whosoever thou art that judgest. For wherein thou judgest one another, thou condemnest thyself. For thou that judgest dost the same things. Another common one I see is 1 Corinthians 6:9. But if you ever own a King James Version, and perhaps even use a dictionary or even Google, none of the words mentioned in 1 Corinthians 6:9 actually mean homosexuality. In fact, homosexuality wasn't made a sin until 1926, when the church decided, you know what, let's make it a sin. So twisting the very word of God in the process. Another common argument I see is in the book of Mark. But again, we must also follow the King James format. So there you go, that's every argument against homosexuality debunked. And now for the women not preaching. And I bet you're referring back to 2 Timothy. But there are three things you need to know. The first one is that Paul is rather sexist. Like, did you know in 1 Corinthians 11, he says that men shall pray with their head uncovered, while women should pray with their head covered? Second, Paul is very opinionated. He later admitted, in the chapters that, yeah, everything he was saying was in his opinion, and this is very common in 1 Corinthians 7. He literally said, I'm speaking from my judgment, not God's judgment. And third, even if he wasn't, Paul didn't write 1st and 2nd Timothy and Titus. In fact, there's actually some debate onto whether he even wrote the Pauline epistle. You want further proof of that? Look no further than a Bible commentary. So there you go. The Bible makes it clear, has been debunked, and I think you also need to study how context works. Anyways, my name is Henry R. Republican. Be sure to subscribe and follow me on Blue Sky. Otherwise, you won't see my face again. Have a good day.